I need y'all to like this video and comment if you want to. Then turn on your post notifications so you know the next time I drop something, you dig? Let's get it.
Here's why women regret divorce more than men. Financially speaking, women's lives get worse after the divorce, while men's get better. The standard of living for women goes down an average of 27%, while the standard of living for men goes up 10%. So you can see why women may feel that their lives get worse after divorce because their standards of living go down while their ex-husband's standard of living goes up.
It's in a man's nature to want to make their woman's life easier, right? And so that's going to show up in different ways, you know what I'm saying? But it may show up in just other ways, right? And so when women are making that emotional decision on divorcing their man, without the forethought, which is what they typically do, because if there was some forethought there, they would know that, hey, life is about to get unbearable and I don't think it's worth it. Then they would understand that there is benefit here.
Another reason why I think when relationships end, it be so hard to get over because you lose like your companion, your friend, like.
Yeah, the person you spend the most time with, of course, you're going to feel something if you're a normal human being.
Word, that's a fact, man.
And not heartless.
I think that depends on whether or not you were being an asset in that relationship or you were being a problem in that relationship. Because the person that is over it, I don't think that it's hard for them to let go. You know what I mean? When you do the math of it all, does the good outweigh the bad? Yeah, you were a companion, but every day was a living hell here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no thank you. You know what I mean?
I gave up billiards. I gave up everything you didn't like. I'm happy I did. It's fine. And I waited and I never complained because I figured you loved me, Joe.
Bruh, that shit don't move them, bruh. That shit it shows softness. You know what I'm saying? They like bad boys. You know what I mean? Like let me spill my heart out to you. That gets it dry, bro. I'm telling you right now, you don't believe the hype.
I tried to text her. The message ain't delivered. I ain't really pay attention that much, but as the day went by, I'm like, damn, she ain't hit me up or whatever. So I go back and look at the message. It still ain't delivered. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I try calling. And you know when you block, bro, it ring like one time and then go straight to voicemail. So I went on Instagram. She blocked me on every social media platform. She went cold turkey on a nigga, bro. I promise you. That was the most eye-opening shit ever to me because she was there for me. And then to this day, I don't have closure from that because I don't really know how she feel. And you know what I mean? I don't know why she did that. But she went cold turkey. Like she just dropped me like a bad habit for real. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about, bro? And obviously I'm going through all of this shit with everybody, family and everything. I ain't really want to talk to nobody. So the person I did have some type of, connection with at the time, man, gone now. You feel me? Blocked me on everything, dog, and I couldn't get in touch with her. You feel me? I had her mama number, and shout out to her mama. She supported me too. But I was so fed up. I'm like, fuck it.
I think that she got tired of building a nigga up. I think that you're not as ambitious as she would have hoped to be. I think that she probably found somebody that kind of fit what it is that she wanted. I think that she lost attraction for you immediately. And I think that you were leaning on her way too hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that sob story stuff, women don't want to hear that. They want a man that is competitive. And I don't think that you was, being that, you know what I mean?
I feel like such a dude right now because it took me over a year to realize how badly I fumbled the bag when dating this amazing man. Like, he was one of the sweetest, kindest, most genuine guys I've ever dated, and I threw him away like day old trash. And I'm just so disappointed in myself in how I conducted myself and how I behaved and how I treated him and made him feel taken advantage of. And I'm just disappointed in the way that I ended things so abruptly, so rudely. And this is something I've wanted to process so many times over the past year, but like I genuinely couldn't come face to face with myself and like how I conducted and just my behaviors, because honestly, I know so many of the reasons why I behaved the way I behaved is due to past traumas. And while that's not an excuse to treat people poorly, I do have to recognize how, my past does affect me. And, I'm in therapy and I have a coach and I'm working through a lot of these things. But yeah, it just sucks when you realize how badly you fucking fumbled. And it's not just because it's 1 a.m. on a Friday night, coming home from the bars and realizing it being so apparent how challenging it is to meet good men out in the wild. Yeah, it's definitely a wake-up call. I'm consistently working on my shit with my therapist so that I don't let subconscious behaviors and reactions treat other people poorly and, stand in the way of my own happiness. Yeah. I wish that I could reach out to him and apologize and have a conversation, but it's been a year. It's too late. And I wouldn't want to hear from me either, but I just felt like I needed to express this. I wrote him a letter that I'll never send, but yeah, I recently saw that we don't follow each other on Instagram, but I was curious and I looked him up and it looks like he moved states and it looks like he has a new girlfriend. His profile is private, but his profile picture has him and his girlfriend. They look happy and it makes me happy. Yeah, I feel... But yeah, I fumbled because he was hot and he had a great job and he looked like a young Justin Timberlake and he would cook me dinner. We went to Six Flags one time and my shoes were untied. He just knelt right down, tied them up. Like, that's so sweet. Anyways, good night.
I said it before, I say it again. Sometimes people have to lose what is valuable to understand its value. And the crazy part about it is that it took her a year to figure this out. And you know what she was doing in that year, right? Running that body count all the way up. You could tell by the nose ring. You know what I mean? She was getting, you know what I'm saying? She had her fun that year. And now she's coming back around after all the trauma she's endured onto herself and realized, dang, him bending down to tie my shoes like that wasn't really corny. I think it was corny. You know what I'm saying? I would never do no shit like that. But, salute to the men that would. You know what I mean? I'm not looking down on you. You know what I mean?
White girls that like black men have a certain look to them. Like, I know that black men be loving their fucking snow bunnies. And I know they like Latinas too. But they love their snow bunnies. And if you notice, they have a certain look to them. Like, if you can call that something, what would you call it? I'm not going to say no more because then they're going to come for me. But
I don't knock my dogs that choose what they want, man. Any flavor is your business. What I would say is that all the white girls that be with the black dudes, they kind of like act black. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might have a fat ass or like, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but that's typically what I see. Or they be fat as hell. I mean, fat as hell. It be the ones that don't know white man really want. They be them motherfuckers. And they be taking care of that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Having all his babies are taking care of that nigga. You know what I mean? So that's what I see. I don't know.
Inside eye. It start with your mind. It's a lot of motherfucking manipulation been going on these past few years. We in this day and age where everybody's some sort of victim. Nobody don't want to be told the truth. Fake is the new real. Real is supposedly fake and people offended. Motherfuckers fat. You can't tell them they fat. They want you to just act like everything all right. Bitches unhealthy. They don't want you to say they unhealthy because you gonna hurt their feelings. Motherfuckers around here fucking up financially for the 15th time. They don't want you to say nothing. You supposed to pretend like they doing it right or just get back up. Everything will be fine. No, the fuck it won't. People die broke every day. Motherfuckers die with bad reputations every day. It's some people die not being able to get in that space with people and forgive them. Free their mind and stuff. It's people that left this world with a motherfucking weight on their shoulders, a monkey on their goddamn back, baggage with them. And I ain't talking about the baggage of shit y'all think y'all can take with y'all when you die. I'm talking about that shit that be on you psychologically. I told you the shit attack you from the inside out. It ain't about what you can see. It's a lot of y'all, you want a bitch to talk to you nice all your life, right? You want a bitch to talk to you nice all your life. But you make some mean bad decisions. But you want to be talked to nice. You want the lessons to be nice. But you make some mean poor decisions. Ain't nothing about them fucked up ass choices that you be making for your life, right? Ain't nothing about them nice. You need a bitch to bust you across your head. The same way you keep fucking up, that harsh. You need it told to you, that harsh. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. A lot of that shit y'all was taught growing up, it ain't work then, it ain't working now. You just thought it did because your ass was ignorant to what the fuck adults really had going on. Now you an adult and you can see it clearly, but you don't know how to break them habitual behaviors. That shit start with your mind. A lot of y'all feel, oh, I can't wait till I move out my mama's house. I can't wait till you gonna get your ass out here and get these motherfucking lessons and realize not only, right, was your mama telling the truth, but she was lying at the same time. Not only was your daddy telling the truth, but he was lying at the same time. Because what's true for somebody else, right, on the same thing, cannot, at the same time, cannot be true for you. This is a lesson a lot of y'all ain't learned yet. Some shit could be true for somebody else for the time and space that they in, right? While you existing at the same time in your time and space, and it not be true for you. When you realize that, you start worrying about what the fuck you need and want to get your life looking how you want it to look. It's a lot of y'all, you grown, and all you worry about is what the fuck somebody else think about the way things look in your life. And it's a lot of y'all, you quick to say, I don't care what a bitch think. I don't give a fuck what a mother. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's why you move the way you move. That's why you excessively spend, you emotionally eat, you show up and worry about shit that's going on online, on pages and things that have nothing to do with you hitting your goals. That is why a lot of y'all overspent for the holidays, finna have yourself toe up financially for the new year, starting out already, smiling on the gram or Facebook or Snapchat, TikTok, wherever you at home, everything in shambles. You got to clean that shit up from the inside out.
It's all about staying focused on purpose. That's the only thing that matters. And the thing about it is when she says inside out, you have to be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? We have been taught to lie to ourselves. All right. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is what my mom used to tell me, right? And she meant well. You know what I mean? This is the only way that she knew how to deal with reality, right? She would say to speak things into existence. Right? If you speak it into existence, then it'll become something, right? And I'm like, yeah, I could just speak it into existence, but I actually have to do something in existence for it to happen, because speaking it ain't gonna be enough. If you understand that, right, and understand how reality actually works, then you understand the value of doing the internal work, because the truth is gonna remain supreme. So if you're not where you want to be at, you can tell yourself, I'm not where I want to be at yet. But if you keep telling yourself, I'm where I want to be at, and you're really not where you want to be at, then how can your brain know how to break down the steps to get to where you want to be at? Because it all starts in small incremental steps. And when you focus on that, you stay on purpose. You focus on those small incremental goals that you have to accomplish.
Do children do better under a single parent that's a father or a mother? The U.S. Census data revealed that when children with developmental delays are under the age of 1, dads are more than 15 times as likely as moms to take those children into their care. As well, nearly half the children who ultimately lived with their dads full-time initially lived with their moms. Why did they move? The mom often felt overwhelmed and out of control, often because the children resorted to drugs, drinking, delinquency, depression, and disobedience, including vicious swearing at the mom, or what I refer to as the 5 Ds. I want to also point out the fact that even there is this trend that I often guide women against when you say like, oh, I feel like a single married mother or a single parent that's married. There is no such thing as being a single parent and married, because you still have this other person to rely on. And I think that that's something that we as married women definitely have to get away from saying, because a single mother who is doing everything on her own is fully responsible for everything on her own. Even if you feel like your husband is not showing up to like household tasks and things, or he's not doing things the way that you want them to, there is still a physical body in that house that is able to be dependent upon worst case scenario, that is able to assist, that is participating in provision, and that is also participating in parenting, because I think what often happens and what we miss in connection is moms are overwhelmed regardless whether they are married or single. If you're taking on too much, and oftentimes even when you're married, you try to wear your struggle, like I said, as a badge of honor, and so you take on more than necessary, and so you end up getting yourself in these really high stress situations when you really don't need to. And so we tend to be overwhelmed anyway. Now imagine being an actual single parent, and now you're trying to discipline these kids, and they already have like this chip on their shoulder because they don't have access to their dad as much as they would want. They're going to be more rebellious, and more rebellious children are easier managed by their fathers. I told y'all all the time, like, as much as my children love, adore, and respect me, sometimes it takes for my husband to be like, I know y'all heard what she said, or like it takes for him to add that level of sternness, because that's just how it is. And then over time, I noticed that there are things that he will enforce, and the way that he'll say it to them, I better not hear your mom say that again, or I don't want to hear your mother say this again, or whatever. And so over time, they just listen by default, and there is no let me go get their dad. And that only comes from the structure of having their dad also be a parent. And I think that's what's missing when you're a single mom versus a single dad. Dads tend to, generally speaking, y'all, tend to have like more structure and ease of working things out. They also don't focus on small things. So like we get worked up and overwhelmed because we focus on every little detail in addition to the large details. So like we might be thinking about getting a perfect gift for your kid's best friend's party this weekend, while we're also thinking about how we got to get them to and from school, get them to and from practice, and all of these things. Dads will literally outsource. Like my dad, when my sisters were still in high school and he had a hard time getting them around, he hired a driver. Problem solved. Like, okay, I'm in court, I can't get over there to get them from school, I'm about to just call this guy and he's gonna go get them. And he had a regular driver that everybody knew. He would get them from school, get them to where they needed to be. Worst case scenario, like if he would call me and I was busy, or he would call somebody and my sisters weren't driving at the time, he would just get a driver. Problem solved. And so I think that we as moms, we overwhelm ourselves and we're less likely to outsource too. So that's another thing that I think is probably a point that's not necessarily addressed. In brief, whether infants or teenagers developmentally delayed or delinquent, dads are more likely to get their children who are challenged than the children who are challenging. Yet the children do very well under their care, which opens the door for more young men to define their future purpose as father warrior. Because remember, if they're on the other side of that and they're being raised by their single mothers in the absence of their father, any terrible experience that they have in that regard, they blame their mom for it and they hate their dad for it. And so if you didn't see your dad, you're either going to be resentful of that, and then you're going to grow up to be a terrible father yourself, or you're not going to want to be a father, or you're going to grow up being like, I'm not going to be like him. And so your entire fathering experience is going to be trying to model the opposite of what it is that you saw. Versus if your dad is present in your life, you have a direct example of what that looks like and how it is to be a healthy father. The word warrior is not added lightly. A warrior makes himself aware of the barriers to achieving his purpose. Then rather than focus on what is standing in his way, a warrior focuses on how to get past those barriers, which is exactly what he'll be teaching his children. This is our book club selection for the month. It's The Boy Crisis by Warren Farrell and John Gray. We read book club. We do, yes, Sundays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Central Time, and we do meet on TikTok Live. If you want to register at the little link, you can, but it's not necessary. Just show up when we start book club, and I will see y'all there.
Man, I try to start a book club. I think I'm gonna do that in the future. Start a damn book club for sure, because there are some books that us as men could definitely read that I think would help change a lot of perspectives, because a lot of knowledge are in books. Seriously, the media has done an excellent job at brainwashing the masses through propaganda, making us believe that women's a single mom is the best situation for children. So much so that the courts operate out of that propaganda. You know, they typically try and give the children to the mother, and it is statistically proven that children fare way better with the father.
If it was ever a time I thought that you was like needing a diagnosis, it's right now.
I think you overreact.
No. There's nothing to hear, Wayne. You need medication. Why would you think that it's a good idea to live with this lady? We just got in a fight. What do you think is gonna happen, huh? You think we're gonna do each other's nails and watch chick flicks and cook you breakfast and become besties? You think that, Wayne? You're fucking bugging.
Little girl.
Ma'am.
Little girl.
I'm talking to my man.
Little girl, my son said what he said. So if you and little Forrest want to move out, well, then we'll see you at the holidays. And I'll finally get a chance to get in there and clean that house that's been smelling for so long.
Ma, please.
Listen, we can resolve this with time.
No, we can't. I've tried. I've literally tried. Fuck you, Wayne. And fuck your mama.
Fuck you, bitch.
sis.
No, get your hands off me.
You know, obviously that looks like it was a skit. This is what I'll say to that, because there's value in that. There's a lot of value in that. That whole situation is the result of a weak man. One thing you don't want to be is a son husband, because number one, your mama should have found her own man and been consumed and focused on him. That's number one. Number two, and you know, some people may disagree with this, but you have to focus on the family that you're building. And so to be a son husband causes the two women in your life to have to compete for that number one spot, right? And so you're never going to find a woman who's going to be okay playing second fiddle to a man's mother. And another thing is you look like a weak man. And so that right there will cause a woman to lose attraction for you just as a man. It's, in my opinion, and you tell me if y'all think different in the comment, but in my opinion, I think it's supposed to go man, wife, children, everybody else.
I didn't know I was the ugly kid. I was walking around. I thought I was cool. I thought I was in the middle. I thought I was regular. That's what my mama used to tell me. I'm like, I look good. She'd be like, you regular? You okay? I thought she didn't want me to be arrogant. She like, you regular. There's this girl named Ebony Eddington. I like Ebony Eddington. Ebony Eddington was fine. You know what I mean? She was just basic, but she was fine to me. You know what I'm saying? She had the little bun, and I could smell her gel. She used to use the jam with the green top. Black people know that, the jam. You can smell a jam. My cousin used to use the jam. Like, ooh, she got a little baby hair, a little. Y'all know y'all put the ponytail, and then this the little accessory on your face, like the little twirls right here. You be like, ooh, she got the little twirl, the little baby hair. So I used to like Ebony. Ebony put me in a friend zone early, quick in elementary school. I run into her. I'm grown. And you don't ever forget your first crush. You see them, you instantly, your heart recognizes them. Your heart says, I remember her. She was my first love, even though it wasn't reciprocated. I felt it. It was something my heart felt. So I instantly noticed her. I said, Ebony Eddington, what? Ebony. And she's like so confused. Like it made me feel like I was like a rapist or something. She's like, excuse me? I was like, no, it's me. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't remember you. I'm like, we went to school together. It's me, Barry. She's like, Barry? It's like, nigga, we went to school for eight years, from kindergarten to 8th. Like, you don't remember? She's like, the only Barry I remember is Ugly Barry. It's okay, I don't know him. I've never met him. So I'm like, oh, that must be somebody else. I'm Barry Brewer. She's like, oh my God, Ugly Barry! Oh my God. Wow, look at you. They said God do miracles. It's true. You done grew into your face. You used to be ugly. Oh my God. She don't know that she's offending me. She thinks she's giving me a compliment. She like, you look good. Oh my God. You done grew into your face. I'm like, how do you grow into your face? Was my skin sagging and my face filled out? How do you accomplish that? She thinks she complimented me, but I'm getting more upset inside because who's calling me this and I didn't know? Because this is obviously a thing. So I'm in my feelings. Fellas, you have to be in your feelings, but you can't really show it. You know, she's like, so how you been? She touching me. I'm like, I'm cool. You know when your girl touch you, but you irritated and you don't want to be touched, you're like, I'm cool, I'm good. I ain't really feeling all the affection. I'm all right, what's up? No, yo, you good, I'm just sore, yeah. She's like, oh my God, what's going on? So she like low-key trying to flirt, and I'm not interested at this point. She's like, so what's going on, you was taking? I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking. She's like, oh, what's her name? I was like, Ugly Jasmine, that's her name. We're gonna have some ugly kids and live happily ever after. Jasmine is cute. Thank you. That's really nice. I know. It was a joke. It's a call back from earlier. It's okay.
I need y'all to like this video and comment if you want to. Then turn on your post notifications so you know the next time I drop something, you dig?